So we're going to be making today's wood stove out of a mailbox and some other household junk with no power tools. So in here you can see it's got some stuff burning in there. The way we control the airflow is by shutting this. One main modification we did was the bottom loop, we pulled it out so we got a handle to get a hold of. We got some soup cans loaded under here. And the back of this one is taller than the front, so we can make the smoke angle up. And we have a flat spot here we can put pots or whatever sitting up there cooking. It's really simple to make. This is going to be our wood stove or our TP heater or whatever we choose to use it for. So everything in here, when we get done, will go inside just like it is now and fit right in there. Basically what we have is a piece of pipe. This is This is actually heavy duty dryer fence pipe. And then it goes, and this is an elbow. These swivel. What we're going to do is we're going to take a cheap knife we don't care about. We're going to cut a series of X's. One's going to go out, one's going to go in, out, in, all the way around. And that'll hold this. Or we can take this off for indoor use, do this, and we can hook either a dryer vent or stovepipe up to it depending on how tall you're going, how hot it's going to be. Some other things you might want to throw in here would be some heat tape or some heavy duty wire if you're going to be setting up a TP and all you're carrying is a tarp. You set up your poles, wrap it in the tarp, put the wood stove in there, hook your pipe up, fire it up in your 80 degrees when it's -20 outside. These are really great stoves. The only thing you might want to do, this one we're not going to put it on here because it's going to be more of a quick portable thing that you can almost throw on your back or whatever. But we're not going to put any legs on this one because when you get there you'll find some rocks that you do use to jack it up with. Let's go ahead. So about 5 minutes later, here's what we have. We've done this to where one's up, one's in, outside, inside, outside, inside. The way you're going to put that on, you should just find one. That, and then for outside use you take your adjuster just to keep the wind from forcing it back down in there, and you set it up and that would angle the wind or the smoke away from where you're going to be at, and then this would be your dampener. And if you're going to use this to heat a TP or another large tent or small shelter, I've thrown some dryer vent in here. This is the heavy duty stuff. You go with the lighter stuff. We went camping once and we had the pipe blowing all night. It was a little bit scary, but it comes out. And the way this works is there's a tongue and a groove, and you put them together, and you'll squeeze them, and they snap together. And all of this will go right inside of here. I've added some heat tape. Use this to plug any smoke gaps you have coming out of your pipe. You have smoke coming out, use it to plug the holes. This is more wire than you'd actually carry, but this is what you would use to tie it up to the top of the teepee or top of a tree or whatever you're running your top of your chimney to. Keep it held up there. We have a piece of pipe that connects to the mailbox. The outdoor piece, where if we're going to use it outside cooking on, we can hook this up. And we have our extra stove pipe, and of course the mailbox, everything goes inside of it. So here's the one we just made. So we got some rocks we put on it. Here's one I made a few years ago. And we got soup cans under it, welded to it. This back piece here, I ain't gonna pull it out because it's really hot, but you can see there's a soup can down in there. It's welded to it, has the bottom cut out. That sits on, and both of these, everything can go inside of them, so you can take and heat up a teepee or a shelter or whatever. I've cooked on top of these things. They're pretty good. I mean, there's a lot of heat coming up off of that. I hope you liked this video on the mailbox stoves. If you have any questions, drop me a line on Scavenger and Self-Reliance. Oh yeah, one more thing. Make sure you're using a steel mailbox. If you're using the galvanized ones, you need to burn them off outside at least twice, completely burn them really good and hot before you put them inside of any kind of shelter. If they're steel, you go ahead. Only reason is because the galvanized mailboxes will put off a gas when they first heat up, and they start burning that gas and junk off, and you don't want to breathe that in. It's really bad for you. Outside of that, outdoor cooking, indoor cooking, heating up your shelter, whatever. We were camping with the Boy Scouts once, and we were pulling a sled, doing some activities along the way, spending a night or two out on the trail. And we set up a big teepee with our tarps, put one of these things inside it we brought with us. Everything fit inside the mailbox. It was great. I think the next morning outside it was in the low teens. Inside we had it up near 80, and it was just amazing in there. So if you have any questions, drop me a line at Scavenger and Self-Reliance on Facebook. If you think it was a great video, I'd like to hear that. If you think it was a terrible video, you think it was like watching paint dry, whatever it was, just let me know. Have fun out there.